Hey everyone, so we're back with another math lesson. Again, we're working on fractions. So we're going to take what we learned on Monday about equivalent fractions, and today we are going to compare fractions using a number line. So I'm going to make myself smaller and we will get started. So again, today we are going to be starting off with the essential question, and that is, how can you compare fractions using a number line? So it says that Talia has two different lengths of blue and red ribbon. Does she have more blue ribbon or more red ribbon? So we're going to look at the numerators and we're going to look at the denominators of each fraction. So here it says that the blue ribbon, we have 2/3 of a yard, and the red ribbon, we have 1/3 of a yard. So which one is bigger? Which one has more ribbon? So we're gonna scroll down here. I'll move myself over. All right. So it says the fractions both refer to 1 yard of ribbon. So the 1 yard is going to be our whole. We're going to use a number line to compare these because that is the easiest way to be able to see it instead of just trying to do it in your head. So we have the number line here. We have 0 to 1 because we had 1 yard as our whole. And they have plotted the fractions 1/3 and 2/3. You can see here we have 1, 2, 3 equal parts for the denominator, and they labeled them 1/3, 2/3, and we know our whole, if it was a fraction, would be 3/3 or 3/3. So it wants to know which one is more. Super simple, guys. Whichever fraction is closest to the whole or closest to the right, so closest to our whole, here's 1, is greater. So we're going to be using our greater than, less than, or equal to signs for this lesson. So you can see here on the number line, 2/3 is farther to the right than 1/3. So 2/3 is closer to the whole. So 2/3 is greater than 1/3. So Talia has more blue ribbon than red ribbon. So let's go on to the next example. And before we start, let me just give you a little reminder for greater than, less than, or equal to. Remember, the mouth of the alligator is always wanting to eat the bigger number. So that's how you would use that. And equal, obviously, is the same. So we're looking at number 3 here. Can we make it any bigger? Yeah, there we go. All right. So it says compare fractions using greater than, less than, or equal to, and we're going to use the number lines to help us. So we're looking down here. We want to compare 2/4 to 2/3. Now, the denominator on here is different, so that is something that we have to make sure that we look at. All right, so how are we going to figure this out? They have 2 different denominators, 2 different number lines. This is how we're going to break it down. So we see here that our fourths, they are broken up into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. Our thirds are broken up into 1, 2, 3 equal parts. You can see that the distance between in the equal parts on the thirds is much bigger than the fourths. So, although the denominators are different, this is going to be easy to figure out. We see here that our 2/4 is right here. Actually, I should circle that. Let me get my tool. Okay, let me get my tool. I have 2/4. Come on, you can do it. Okay, and I have 2/3. Slowly but surely, guys. Okay, so we can see here that we have the 2/4 circled and the 2/3 circled. Because these are bigger spaces in between our equal parts, we can see that the 2/3 is closer to the whole than the 2/4, or closer to the right than the 2/4. So 2/3 is actually going to be bigger than 2/4. So let me get my point. So we know 2/3 is bigger. We know our sign. The little alligator's mouth always wants to eat the bigger number. So we're going to pull this one over. And this problem will read 2/4 is less than 2/3. So I hope that makes sense. We're going to do another example. All right, so here we have another example. This example, it looks like we're working with the same denominator, so this one will be even easier than the other one. So it looks like we're comparing 5/8 and 3/8. So the first thing that I'm going to do, which I didn't do on the first one, but this is what you should do first, is I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to first find 5/8, and I'm just going to mark it where it is, and then I see 3/8 right there. All right, so what I'm looking for, is which fraction is closer to the whole or more towards the right. So I see here that I have my 3/8 and my 5/8. My 5/8 is definitely closer to the whole, closer to the right side. So that is going to be bigger. And I know that my alligator's mouth wants to eat the bigger number. So I'm going to take my my sign, and this is going to read 5/8 is greater than 3/8 because the 5/8 is closer to the 1. Now I'm going to show you one that is equal, and then we'll be done. All right, so we are looking at example number 8. First thing I'm going to do, just like the other ones, first we need to look that we have two different denominators, so we have two different number lines, and I'm going to first underline 1/2 here, so that I know where it is. A little over it, but that's all right. And then I'm going to underline 2/4. All right, so I'm looking at the denominators, and I have, located them on the different number lines, and now I'm going to look at their placement. So, it looks to me that even though the denominators are different, they're both in the middle. So if they're both in the middle, what does that mean? I'm going to use my trick that I used for the equivalent fractions. To get from 1 to 2, I'm going to multiply by 2. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. 2 times 2 equals 4. So it looks to me that this is an equivalent fraction. They are both in the middle in the same exact spot. So for this problem, I'm going to drag my equal sign there because they are equivalent fractions. So 1/2 is equal to 2/4. Okay, so that lesson was a little bit easier than the last one, so I hope you understood. If you don't, like I say in all my videos, please let me know and I will help you. Until I see you in the next video, bye.